If you're starting to notice that it's becoming more challenging to go from a standing position after you've been sitting for a long period of time, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the common techniques that people use and give you 2 smart exercises that, when done, will make your lower body feel so much stronger. Now make sure that you watch to the end of this video where I give you my special combo exercise to tie it all together and make you feel even more resilient. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Lauren Irk, and I help people over 50 to try to optimize their muscular system with stronger, more stable joints and less joint pain. Now, my clients commonly tell me that going from sitting down into a chair and standing back up is becoming much more challenging as they've gotten older. This is super common. Now, I want you to let me know in the comments which of these 3 categories that you fall into. Number 1, you feel like after you've been sitting, your body gets really stiff and getting ready to stand up becomes much, much more challenging. Number 2, it's a strength issue. You feel like after you've been sitting, your muscles went offline, and to gather up that necessary contraction through the joints to stand back up, that is also a challenge. And number 3, maybe you're somebody who is more joint pain, knee, lower back, ankles, I get it. Which one of those 3 categories do you fall into? Well, many people, because of these things, they will use one of these 3 things that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to tell you why these are definitely not the solution. Now, in sitting, we have to overcome our body's inertia, and the more you weigh and the longer you've been sitting there, we have to use our muscles to overcome gravity, which is pushing us into the chair. So one thing people use is the momentum sequence. I try to lean forward and get this sort of momentum going so that eventually I can stand back up. Now you can see that by doing that, I didn't lift my body weight. I actually avoided my body weight by trying to move it faster. So that's definitely not going to make us stronger. The second thing that people do is they make themselves more biomechanically efficient. They scoot themselves to the front of the chair so that they can get their feet right up underneath them, and then they're able to use their hands, their upper extremities, to take some of the pressure off of the legs. Now, when we distribute muscular tension over multiple joints, it will make us more efficient, but we don't get to use our legs quite as well. So doing that, either going from standing or reaching back and using your upper extremities to avoid using your lower body, it's not going to make you stronger. Now, the third thing, and let me know in the comments if you've ever seen this, people will use multiple pillows or even ergonomic chairs to avoid having to lift a lot of their body weight. So they have 2 or 3 pillows, so they've only had to go down this far into sitting so that they can immediately stand back up. Or you can see that they have to reach around, grab their cane or whatever to try to push into so that they don't have to use their lower bodies. I get it. These 3 things accomplish the goal of getting standing up, but over time, because of aging, you're going to end up getting weaker over time, and that is absolutely not what we want. Now, I want to show you 2 exercises that you're going to feel an immediate effect, and I give this to my clients all the time. Now, keep in mind, this is just a piece of my program, which is called Fitness Integrated Science TV, where I have lots of different 15 to 30-minute guided workouts that will help you to accomplish this goal in a much more comprehensive way. However, we have to take a look at why this is so hard. When we're sitting in the chair, gravity is sitting right on top of us, right? So our hip is at a 90-degree angle. We have to overcome the weight of our body to stand. So what do people do? They commonly let their knees crash in, which puts a twisting force on the knee. Maybe they have crummy ergonomics in their spine, and now their back hurts, and when they get up, they're trying to hobble across the floor. And I know I'm exaggerating. There's all different levels of this. But how do we make these things stronger? One thing that I would definitely recommend is taking a thigh band or some sort of a elastic band that I can wrap around my legs. So if I just step into this on each side, I immediately start to notice that I have these lateral forces. And when I push the knees out, boom, I feel resistance immediately right here. And this is a very common area that people have a hard time with osteoporosis. And if you know someone with osteoporosis, please send them this video, because when you share it, I can help these people to get better, which is definitely going to help me build a stronger community. So as you push out into the band, this is bringing our awareness to the outer hips. Then I can practice lifting 1 foot off the floor. Why would I want to do this? The hip flexor muscles are already flexed when I'm sitting in the chair. They're just not active. I know we think that because we sit and because we're in this position, these muscles are tight because they're strong. They're not tight because they're strong. They're tight because my whole body has figured out a way to keep me stable, given the fact that I've got an incredible amount of weakness going on. So when I lift up into the band, I'm getting 2 things. I'm getting hip flexion, but I'm also getting hip abduction. And depending on which of those 2 forces is greater, I'm getting a really cool resultant force. So as I bring this leg up and I get stronger, I want to work on keeping my posture upright versus here. So maybe for a time, I'm going to put my hands back here. But each time I lift that leg up, I'm just going to hold that for a few seconds. This is what's going to help us to push into the ground, use these hip flexor muscles so they get strong here, and then eventually come up into standing. Now for the second exercise, I want to address the knee joint. Some of the muscles that cross the hip, that flex the hip, such as the rectus femoris, both cross the hip and the knee. So we can't leave our knees out of this if we want our quadricep muscles to become stronger. And I get it. You have knee pain. You don't want to contract these muscles in your knee. Now, let me know in the comments if you have ever been to a physical therapist that told you you have to get your knee straight, so they grab a strap and they ask you to pull on your leg. If that is you, I'm going to tell you to stop, right? Your knee may never fully straighten if you've got some arthritic changes, but if you have muscle weakness, even tenfold, right? So what I want you to do instead is walk yourself back into the chair. This way you're going to offset some of the load of your lower extremities. We don't have to worry about the hips just yet. Then from there, I'm just going to begin working on straightening the leg. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to contract the belly of the quadricep, right? Contracting this muscle. Now, as far as knee extension exercises, there are so many ways to skin this cat, and I hate that term, but there's so many ways to do this. I explore this extensively in FIS TV using various props and also various positions, from lying down to standing to sitting to on your stomach and on and on. But for right now, being in the chair, this is a great body weight exercise. And so let's say that I can only get to here. Well, over time, as my body got stronger and these muscles got stronger, my body may actually allow for me to use more load. Then, as you get stronger, you can start to shift your body weight further out, so that now, when I begin to straighten the leg, I'm also using my hip flexor muscles, which is going to accomplish that exercise as far as getting both attachments done at the same time, such as with the rectus femoris. Lastly, we want to focus on core strength, which again is another whole ball of wax, working on sitting up straight. But now, just working on the hip flexors, abductors, and knee extensors, what you're going to notice over time is that getting ready to stand up is going to become much, much easier, because my lower body can lift the body weight. Now, just as I promised, this is my bonus exercise. Now, I create lots of programs around squatting, because I hear all the time, I can't squat. My body can't squat anymore. My doctor told me not to squat. Not true. You've got to squat. You've got to stand up. You've got to sit down. Everybody has to squat. So instead, walk yourself to the chair, so that way you feel it, you know it's not going to go anywhere, and just go down as far as you can go. And let's say that I can squat to here, but I can tell that everything starts to fall apart if I go any lower. That's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to squat to my greatest ability. And I want you to do this a few times with me, seeing how far you can squat, right? Have you ever noticed, any of you, when you were trying to squat, let me know if maybe you felt the chair was getting ready to fly away and so you sort of look back or whatever. Let's go ahead and eliminate that by letting that chair touch the legs. Now, over time, as your body becomes more attuned to this position, you may find yourself sinking more and more. Then eventually, I'm going to go ahead and hit the other end of the spectrum. So really, let's say it's from here to here that I don't have any control. So let's go to the end range, the goal, and now let's try to go up from here. So as I shift my weight forward, my goal is to try to lift my body weight out of the chair, and maybe I do need my hands for just a little bit, but I'm going to try to lift my body weight. And you can't even see that I'm doing this, right? I always call this cheekish. My cheeks are pressing into the chair lightly, and then I'm sitting right back down. As you do this over time, getting stronger each time, holding that for a few seconds, eventually I might get what I call liftoff. The goal being I want to even the gap between how far I can sit here and how far I can come up here so that eventually it is a smooth transition, right? We're trying to close that gap in over time. Now, if this video changed your perspective at all about strengthening your lower body, I would love it if you would leave it in the comments and share it with anyone that you know that I can help. If you would like more information about longer content that will help you with this task, I can point you to directly the videos that I use and programs inside of FIS TV. Just put it in the comments and I'll send it to you directly. Now, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click the indications bell so that you never have to miss another video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.